Hello traders and welcome to another video review. Today is Wednesday, April 3rd, 2024. Let's find out what's going on the economic calendar for today. As you can see, we got some data released overnight, but it wasn't that much important. Services PMI from Japan disappoints the market expectations with the actual reading of 54.1, while the forecast was 54.9 and the previous reading was 52.9. So better than the previous one, but way below the market expectations. One of the most important data for today, CPI data from the Eurozone, is scheduled for release at 11 o'clock. The market participants expect the CPI to drop from 2.6% to 2.5%. Together with the CPI data, we got the unemployment rate release, core CPI and monthly CPI release as well. All of this, again, 11 a.m. OPEC meeting starts at 15 minutes after 11 a.m. and 15 minutes later we got the German 10-year Bund action. Then during the New York session we got one of the most important events of today, ADP non-farm employment change, scheduled for at least 2:15. Then we got speech from FOMC member Bostic at 2:30. Then we got the S&P Global Services PMI data release. This release is scheduled at 3:45 o'clock. As we can see, global S&P Services PMI are expected to decrease from 52.3 to 51.7 points. At the same time, we got the FOMC member Bowman to give a speech, and 15 minutes later, we got the ISM non-manufacturing PMI data release, and then we got crude oil inventories scheduled for release at 4:30, together with the Cushing crude oil inventories. Fed chairperson Jerome Powell will give a speech 6:10. So all of this looks very, very interesting, especially the New York session. All right, so please prepare yourself for volatility incoming to the markets. There is still some time left for the CPI data from the Eurozone, and that's the reason why we are going to take a look at the Euro-dollar first. The Euro-dollar 4-hour chart is showing us a bounce from the lows of the let me just take a look here, 1.725 pips, which is a little bit below the technical support located at 1.0734. The bulls managed to bounce from the extremely oversold market conditions towards the neutral level, which corresponds with the level of 1.0771, but the local high was made at 1.0779. So this is actually the technical resistance for today. The other one is just ahead of the bulls, 1.0797, 1.0808. So we can extend our trend line lower. So now this trend line looks like this as the market keeps moving lower, penetrating the negative sentiment, right? Because the momentum is negative, it's weak, sentiment is negative. We cannot even bounce above the level of 50. However, please notice we will have the CPI data from the Eurozone, so we might see the test of this supply zone. So right now it's very important. Let me just move my, there you go, my indication here. Supply zone perfectly covers the 1.0797, 1.0708, basically roughly around 10-12 pips zone. So this is the key zone for today. Remember, this zone is in the middle between the 50 and 100 periods moving average on a 4-hour chart. So that's another very interesting situation. Nevertheless, if we zoom out on the Euro-dollar, we can see that that's not the last technical support. The other one, technical support, the important technical support, is located here. Demand zone, 1.0697, let's say 1.0672. So this is still the demand zone that can be extended lower. Let me just play with this a little bit. We can even extend it to 1.0669. So this is very, very wide demand zone, and it's very, very important. All right. So please be prepared for this situation, that if anything goes wrong here, we can even drop towards this demand zone. I will update my levels and drag this technical support down to 1.0725, to be honest. Not much here of the technical support, maybe in the past. Nevertheless, we got some sort of the, let's say, it's not a hammer pattern. Nevertheless, it's a pin bar. Some sort of the pin bar. So we got this pin bar here. Then it looks like a harami pattern here. Let me just zoom in. Here. It looks like a kind of a harami pattern here. We got the harami here. So maybe there you go. We got two harami patterns here. So let me just update the for all of you who are learning the Japanese candlesticks. We got one harami pattern here, and then copy this, and we got the second harami pattern somewhere here after the pin bar, and then we got the bearish engulfing. So this is how it looks like. Very nice section of the Japanese candlestick patterns, and that's the situation on the euro dollar. All right. Okay, this is how it looks like. So we got data from the US. This is why we focus mostly on the US dollar for today. Euro dollar is done. What we should take a look at is of course crude oil, but I think that the US dollar to the Japanese yen might be interesting to take a look at. Not much is going on here. Market is positioning itself ahead of the data release, so we are still trading in the very narrow technical zone, so not much to look here. But there is one market that can be affected by the today's data. This is S&P 500 market, of course, right? So let's just take a look at this market here. Secular uptrend is still continuing despite the yesterday's decline towards the level of 5,183. Most likely because we hit the extremely overbought conditions, and now we are trading way below the level of 50 right now at 41 points. But we are still above the 100 periods moving average on a 4-hour chart. The uptrend is right now intact. We should expect more upside here on the S&P 500. Crude oil, ahead of the data, as you can see, completely invalidated our ABC downside pattern, which means this is very, very bullish right now, despite the fact that the crude oil is trading roughly around the extremely overbought conditions. 85, 80, 85.7, 85.61 is the max of the recent range. We got this very nice channel here, so as you can see, we are testing, and even we broke above the upper channel line. So all of these levels here will now act as the technical supports, including the 83.86. And where we are heading next, that's the question, because if the ABC didn't work actually for now, so maybe this is some larger pattern to the upside. So where is the next target? Let me just switch to the daily basically to see what's going on here. There you go. After this level was violated, 84.33, the next target for bulls is 90.86. On the daily time frame chart, we are way above 50 and 100 periods moving average. The market is bullish. However, we just hit the extremely overbought conditions. So it will be very, very important to take a look at today's data and the market reaction on today's API crude oil stock data to see what will be the market reaction. We might see some kind of a slight pullback lower. Nevertheless, the outlook is bullish. Momentum is strong. Momentum is positive. Next target for the crude oil, 90.86. And last but not least, let's take a look at the Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin doing? Let's just switch to the 4-hour chart. What we see here is a drop towards 4,564. Now we are trying to move a little bit higher. The level of 68,301 and $69,054 are now technical resistance levels. Very, very close proximity of the 50 and 100 periods moving average. So the market is trading already below both of them, so please pay attention to those. Nevertheless, we just went down towards the 70 toward the level of 30, which is the extremely oversold level on the 4-hour chart. Now we are trying to bounce Only a breakout above the level of 50 on the RSI would give a kick to the bulls, and we should see the bulls in that situation somewhere around the $70,000 again. Nevertheless, if there is no kick from the momentum for the bulls, we can see slow deterioration lower, even towards $62,309 and $60,775. That's my analysis for today. Thank you very much for watching this analysis, and of course I hope I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care and bye bye.